news. Twin boys not even a year old among 4 dead inside this Arlington home. WBZ has learned the couple who owned the place was going through a nasty divorce.
Neighborhoods decimated after dozens of tornadoes tear through Midwestern towns.
This is incredible.
Oh my God, this thing is huge.
Tonight, a look at miles of destruction and survivors salvaging what's left of their homes.
So long to the 60s. The sunshine will stick around, but the cold returns tomorrow.
And having trouble falling asleep? How to use your smartphone to get Z's.
Live from our studios in Boston, WBZ News at 5 starts right now.
We begin right away with some breaking news in Arlington tonight. A horrific scene inside this home. Twin baby boys and 2 adults found dead. Good evening to you. I'm Jonathan Elias.
I'm Paula Evan. The child's nanny knew something was wrong when she arrived for work and couldn't get in the house. So she called police, and they responded to the home on Newland Road just after noon. We have live team coverage for you tonight, beginning with Christina Hager and Kate Merrill standing by in Arlington and Malden. We're going to start with Paul Burton in Arlington, where police just spoke to the media. Paul.
Paula, police wrapped up a press conference a short time ago. They're not saying much at this time. They're not releasing any of the names of the 4 who died. We do know that it is 2 adults and 2 infants under a year old. This is just a horrifying story here in Arlington. A family of 4 gone, and there are still many questions that need to be answered.
That's right.
A horrifying and shocking discovery inside this 2-family home on Newland Road in Arlington. A family of 4 found dead, 2 adults and 2 infants. Investigators say police responded to a wellness call from another person who came to the home after noon.
The officers were able to make entrance into the apartment. They located 4 individuals, 2 adults, 2 children. Those 4 individuals have been pronounced dead. We are in the process of making notification to next of kin. So
right now, police are not saying how the 4 died, but they are not looking for any suspects, and the neighborhood is not at risk.
There is no risk to public safety at this time. We're quite certain that the community is safe and the people can go about their business this evening.
All day long, investigators have been going in and out of this home, questioning neighbors. Earlier today, another couple who lives on the top floor of this 2-family home left the house completely shaken up. Claire McFarland grew up in the house next door and knows the family and describes the mother of the twins as loving and caring.
I know that she bought the condo. Initially, she was single. I know that he was her boyfriend and that he was married before. He has some children from a previous marriage. At one point in their relationship, before they were married, he threatened suicide.
Now, tonight, a neighborhood is in shock. Investigators still on scene. Police still have the street blocked off. 45 Newland Road is where it all happened. Many folks are still gathered around here, and they're asking all of us, we're all asking the same question, how and why? Why did this happen? Reporting live in Arlington, I'm Paul Burton, WBZ News. Jonathan, back to you. Very sad.
Yeah, very sad indeed. It doesn't make any sense at all. Family members, you can imagine, shocked, to say the very least. We spoke with one victim's brother who told us that his sister was in the middle of that nasty divorce that Paul was talking about. Kate Merrill now joining us live in Malden with more on the story. Kate?
Jonathan, the victim's brother tells me she was in the process of divorcing her husband. He said the split was nasty and that her husband just moved out of the house just a few days ago. We know her name. We're not releasing it while they still notify the rest of the family about what has happened in Arlington. The family here in Malden found out just a few hours ago about all that happened. Her brother says he learned about what happened actually on the news. We were here, though, when Malden police came to speak with him this afternoon. Again, he told us the breakup was nasty. Her husband had just moved out. We spoke with her brother just a short time ago.
It is horrifying. This is how I found out, but I'm not don't know what to say. If it's true, we're still trying to get confirmation.
A difficult divorce? Is this the situation?
Yes, I think he just moved out a couple of days ago, and I think she's going through the motion of going through divorce. I don't know. But
tell me about your sister. Tell me about her.
I mean, she's a great person, a loving mom, a loving, caring person.
The brother tells me his children were twin boys, not quite 1 year old. Again, we're not releasing her name. The rest of the family is still being notified tonight. Live in Malden, Kate Merrill, WBZ News. Paula, to you.
It's just a horrifying tragedy. Kate, well, thank you very much. And of course, neighbors don't know what to think tonight as yellow crime scene tape stands out in their quiet community, very quiet part of Arlington. Christina Hager picks up the story now, live in Arlington. Christina?
Well, Paula, right up the street, about a block away, is an elementary school, and a lot of neighbors found out that this was going on when they got a call from the school informing them that some of the school bus routes would be changed due to a crime scene here, and that's when a lot of neighbors rushed here to find out what was going on.
Why would you kill a kid?
The questions are just as disturbing as the answers, and that's what has more and more neighbors gathering at this scene as the day goes on.
To have something so tragic and so horrible happen while I'm sleeping, just, you know, hundreds of yards away, yeah, that freaks you out.
Pretty shaken up.
James Brooks lives right across the street from the house where police have been in and out for hours. Traffic blocked off. He and other neighbors say the couple who lived here with their twin baby boys were quiet, kept to themselves. The father was out here quite a bit, though, say neighbors, meticulously taking care of the property.
He seemed fairly upset. He was out there vacuuming the sidewalk on a regular basis, so we were always like, he's vacuuming the sidewalk again. But that's like the only interaction that we ever had with him to notice that.
This is an unfortunate situation, and, you know, adults is one thing, kids, it's gut-wrenching.
Well, another neighbor told us she saw a family through the window in the home together here, and that was on Saturday. The neighbor said everyone seemed happy and fine, and now this. It's puzzling. In Arlington, Christina Hager, WBZ News. Paula, back to you.
Christina, thanks. We will continue coverage of this tragedy in Arlington all night long. For the latest information, anytime, you can go to our website, cbsboston.com.
Before we change gears now, talk about what happened outside for all of us today. If you walked outside this afternoon, it was hard to believe that we were in the middle of mid-November. People walking around in shorts and T-shirts today.
Temperatures in the 60s, and we did see some rain this morning, which really made for a messy commute. But things did clear out relatively quickly. Our chief meteorologist, Eric Fisher, is here with the latest tonight. So, Eric, a big change is coming.
Well, you know, reality has to move it eventually. We'll certainly feel a big change in air mass by the time we wake up tomorrow and through tomorrow afternoon. Take a look at some of the highs and just... it was stunning. Wow is the only word you could use if you walked outside today. 66 in Boston and Providence, Worcester up to 60 degrees. Record highs, by the way, are in the low 70s this time of year, so not quite that type of territory. Still in the 50s this evening, so with the sun down, it's still pretty comfortable if you're heading out and about. We're watching the cold air. It's lagging well behind the front. That air that's across Green Bay, Chicago, and Detroit. That's what's moving in overnight tonight and into tomorrow. You see in that cold air, there are a few rain showers and snow showers. Don't think they'll move through tonight. We'll see temperatures eventually fall back in the 30s. Some clouds will move in after midnight, and maybe tomorrow morning a brief sprinkle or flurry, but we won't see much precipitation. What you will notice is a huge change in temperature. Some towns will stay in the 30s tomorrow afternoon. We know how long that will stick around coming up in just a little. Jonathan?
All right, thanks. Tonight, at least 8 people dead after dozens of twisters ripped through the central part of our trade. The unusual large and late-season tornado outbreak caused damage in more than a half a dozen states, most, as you can see, surrounding the Great Lakes area. In Illinois, let me show you one particular storm chaser that captured these images right here. Push play right here. You can see they watched this tornado as it dropped down, and as it was moving along the highway, they say that this tornado was moving anywhere in the neighborhood for 190 miles per hour. And this now, what Washington looks like now, at least 6 people in this state killed. 7 county disaster areas. Co-Im is in Washington, Illinois, with more.
It appears that this small town suffers the most damage. Storm was strong enough to swell cars and buildings to rubble.
From the sky, you can see the massive path of destruction the twister carved in Washington, Illinois. Several driveways now lead to empty foundations where large suburban homes used to stand. Winds of up to 190 miles per hour ripped them to shreds. The governor of Illinois toured the damage.
Our mission now is to recover, and we will recover. We will prevail.
Illinois is one of the 12 states twisters ripped through on Sunday. In Kokomo, Indiana, a tornado flipped this car upside down. In Jerry, Ohio, people are picking through what remains of their homes.
But Illinois was the hardest hit state. This pile of rubble used to be an auto shop. Police say despite the damage, employees were able to crawl out unhurt. Go, 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 go.
The storms left hundreds in the Midwest homeless. John Dempsey and his wife are now living in a shelter after losing their home of 44 years.
I don't know what we're doing. We're just devastated. We have no clue what we're going to do.
The National Weather Service is surveying the damage to see how strong the tornadoes were. Preliminary estimates classify the one in Washington as an EF4, the second most powerful.
The governor of Illinois says the November tornadoes were the deadliest in the state's history. Reporting in Washington, Illinois, Co-Am, WBZ News. Back to you.
History on Wall Street today as well. For the first time, the Dow Jones hit 16,000 and the S&P 500 lost the 1,800 mark. Neither closed above the levels. The S&P 6 points, the Dow ended the day up 14. After a bye week that felt extra long, are you ready for some football?
We got some time to relax. They're ready to get after it. The Patriots down in North Carolina tonight. They're getting ready for Monday night matchup against the Panthers, a red-hot team. Steve Burton joining us live in Charlotte. And Steve, Tom Brady really shines, though, with the Monday night lights.
Well, he certainly does. You know, Tom Brady loves the big stage, but he seems to even amp it up a little bit more Monday night football. There's no question about that. The Pats certainly need to be on their A game tonight, especially Tom Brady, because the Panthers have won 5 in a row. This will not be a picnic tonight. This will be Tom Terrific's, 18th Monday Night Football game. His record's 13-4. In those 17 games, he's thrown 41 touchdown passes and only 14 interceptions. They say big-time players step up in prime time, and number 12 has certainly done that on Monday night.
He's a big-time player, and he works hard, and when players work hard, study a lot, and games like this come on, they shine, and that's Tom.
Monday Night Football is always pretty cool, and especially when you play a really good team on Monday Night Football, and it's a fun night. It's November. You feel the weather's changing out there, so is when the most important games are. Is when you want to be playing in the biggest moments.
Remember, immediately after the game tonight, flip over to MyTV 38 for the 5th quarter postgame show where we have reactions plus Tom Brady and Bill Belichick's live press conferences. One other note, the odds makers out in Vegas have the Panthers as favorites, 3-point favorites. Patriots will try to take care of that tonight. Guys, that's the story here in Carolina. Back to you.
See, Paul and I have decided you need to get one of those Brady hats on.
That's right. We'll get one for you. Thank you, Steve.
Vandalism filled with racial slurs sprayed on a high school football player's home. Coming up for us, how his classmates are now showing their support for him.
Plus, the casino fight comes to a head. Will voters in Milford approve the plan that could bring $1 billion resort to their town?
Governor Pack and Boston Mayor-elect Marty Walsh say they'll make a great team, but are they prepared to take on the biggest problem they're facing?
Closed captioning is brought to you by Luna.
Right now at Luna, get an incredible 70% off carpet, hardwood, and laminate flooring. 877-241 Luna.
Let's make this clear. Toyota offers more vehicles with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive than any other brand. Period. Like the stylish winter-ready RAV4, a top safety pick, equipped with Toyota's most advanced all-wheel drive system. So see your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive specialist. Clear enough? Ask someone you know who drives an all-wheel drive Toyota.
Right now at Sleepy's, get great Black Friday deals. Save up to 70% on every mattress in the store. Get doorbuster deals like a $400 gift card. Only at Sleepy's, the mattress professionals, making the world a better place to sleep.
You'll notice the Goya difference even before you taste it. With the perfect blend of salt, pepper, and Latin spices, Goya Adobo is a great new way to enhance your meat, poultry, and fish recipes. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
At Volkswagen, we believe everyone deserves a better car. And now, during the Sign and Drive sales event, you're closer to yours than ever. Like the turbocharged Tiguan, the midsize Passat, or the 34 Highway MPG Jetta. And every new 2014 Volkswagen comes with no charge scheduled maintenance, all for practically just your signature. The Sign and Drive sales event is back, and it's never been easier to get a new Volkswagen. Get zero signing, zero down, zero deposit, and zero first month's payment on any new 2014 Volkswagen. Hurry, this offer ends December 2nd.
Discover more thrills than ever before on over 4,500 big-hitting slots. From the games you know and love to the new titles and all the winning you can imagine, the gift giveaway extravaganza returns. Now through December 11th, use your rewards card while you play slots. And then on December 14th, you could win your share of over $150,000 in prizes at Twin River Casino. So much more and so close. What's it feel like to get a great deal at Happy Honda Days? Hit it, Michael Bolton. Now that the snow is falling and fading, your love is calling your name. Catch the spirit. With standard features like Pandora compatibility and a rear view camera, it's the perfect season to get a great deal on the 2014 CR-V. From KBB.com, best value brand. Right now at your Honda dealer.
The fate of Foxwoods' proposed casino in Milford will be in the hands of the voters as early as tomorrow, and election officials expect about 3/4 of the town's residents will be heading to the polls to vote. That's a lot. Chief Correspondent Joe Shortsleeve joining us live in Milford tonight with more. Joe?
Yeah, people on both sides of this issue are taking to the streets in Milford tonight. Get this, 75% of the town's registered voters are expected to cast a ballot tomorrow. 75%. Now that's about 13,000 people. So this billion-dollar issue could be decided by a few thousand votes. I won the lottery. Our town got some luck. With just a few hours before Milford residents vote, those against and those in favor took their message to the busy rush hour streets. Known as Casino Free Milford, the resident group opposed to casino gambling, saying they're concerned about traffic, crime, and property values. They say they feel empowered by East Boston residents who said no to the billion-dollar Suffolk Downs proposal.
Man, that thing was supposed to be a shoe-in, and the people voted against it. So now I'm really confident in how this town is going to vote.
We don't need this with all the negative. We don't need the extra traffic from 7 million annual visitors.
The casino proposed by Foxwoods, if approved, would be built at this rock quarry on a 187-acre parcel just off 495. The billion-dollar proposal would include a resort casino, hotel, retail stores, and restaurants.
Vote yes for the casino.
Supporters are busy today making last-minute phone calls, talking about jobs and lower taxes, all in an effort to convince residents it's a good idea.
We've already put up that we're going to have $1 million a year scholarship program for high school students that graduate from Milford High.
One is the number of jobs that are going to be available, 1,000 construction jobs, 3,500 permanent jobs, $34 million a year in taxes.
Now, I have a copy of the ballot right here, and there's only one question on the ballot for tomorrow, and it's a simple yes or no. Now, if voters here in Milford do vote yes, the state casino commission, the gaming commission, will have the final say. They'll pick from 3 proposals for the one Boston area casino license. Live in Milford, Joe Shortsleeve, WBZ News. Jonathan and Paula?
Joe, thanks very much. You know, if the voters were heading out to the polls today, they could have showed up in shorts and flip-flops. But tomorrow, they better have a jacket on.
It's true. This morning was really interesting because it was raining so hard you expected it to be raw, and then it was so warm.
I know, we kept the cold away all day long here until tonight, so enjoy. Beautiful evening, and the rain was much needed. Take a look at some of the totals. In fact, we could have used even more rainfall than this. Pembroke, one of the winners, at 0.68 total inches of rainfall. A little over half inch in East Sandwich. Lunenburg got a 1/4 inch in Boston Logan. Well, a little under a 1/5 of an inch, but we're talking about generally a good soaking from many towns. Boston, it always seems like we avoid the heavier rain right over the airports where the sensor is. Today's high temperature was 66 degrees, well above the average, was 51, but near the record, which is 73 for the state. The low 53 for now, but actually be colder than that before midnight tonight, and that's what will go on the record books for the actual low for the state. We're watching that cold front sweep offshore, taking the clouds with it. Just a beautiful evening. I mentioned the cold air lagging behind this front. It's all right in here across the northern Great Lakes. It's going to start to move in tonight, and we'll certainly feel it during the day tomorrow. So we track the temperatures. 7 o'clock this evening, heading outside. I'll tell you, it takes mid-November. Upper 40s to low 50s on the map. As we head through the evening, 11 o'clock, maybe the last walking the dog trip outside. About 50 in Boston, now falling into the lower 40s, places like Worcester and out into the western part of the state. And as we head toward tomorrow morning, the 30s are back, feeling a lot more like you would expect for this state. Even out toward the Cape, we're talking about upper 30s to kick off your day tomorrow. And the big change is those temperatures won't rise much. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, at best, we're looking at the lower 40s. So tomorrow morning, it may start out mostly cloudy. It'll be gusty. That's when that secondary front moving through, bring the more dramatic cold air into the region. And for some of the hill towns, there may be a sprinkle or a brief flurry to kick off the early hours of tomorrow. Lunchtime, it's mostly sun, blustery, right around 40 degrees. That wind out of the west-northwest will make it feel more like the 30s all across the region. And then for the evening, the temperatures themselves falling back to 30s. It'll be a clear and chilly night. The idea for this week is very dry, very quiet, and very bright. High pressure will be firmly in control for Wednesday, right on top of the region, which means not a lot of wind for us. By Thursday and Friday, we'll start to increase a little bit of cloud cover. The next chance for rain, though, doesn't get into here until late Friday night and into Saturday. So nothing to really mess with your plans outdoors. As long as you bundle up, today's high 66, but 40s for tomorrow and Wednesday. As we head toward Thursday and Friday, it'll be closer to 50 degrees, which is about our average high this time of year. It's right at 50 degrees. If you're worried about the Pats game tonight, what are the conditions on the going to be like? Mainly clear, cool, temperatures in the 50s. That front has moved away. We'll talk about that next storm chance for the upcoming weekend coming up next half hour. Jonathan, over to you.
Eric, we'll see you then. Thanks. Boston Mayor-elect Marty Walsh spent part of his first day back at work after a post-election vacation meeting with Governor Deval Patrick.
The two men have been political allies in the past, and our John Keller is wondering if they're going to team up to deal with what could be the state's most pressing financial problem. John?
Well, Paula, Jonathan, the problem is expensive promises that have been made to pay for health coverage for retired public employees. Statewide, the unfunded liability for that is estimated at more than $30 billion. That's billion with a B, with nearly $3 billion of that in Boston alone. And when we brought it up today, the answers we got were far from reassuring.
This is a strong partnership.
And as they met with reporters today, the governor and mayor-elect showed a united front on perhaps the most pressing fiscal issue they face: how to fund the budget-busting commitments state and local governments have made to subsidize health care for retirees from public payrolls.
In the end, the taxpayers will pay,
and in a big way, according to a 2011 Mass Taxpayers Foundation study that predicts tax hikes of up to $3 grand per year for the average Boston family if these costs are incurred, while a typical homeowner in smaller cities like Worcester, Lowell, Brockton, and Newton can expect to pay about $1,700 more per year.
this is a benefit that is way beyond anything in the private sector or most of the public sector in the rest of the country. Simply unaffordable.
The governor has filed a reform bill that would tighten eligibility standards.
It's not 100% of what anybody wants, but in the nature of things, it's a good, strong compromise, and it makes the system sustainable.
But it wouldn't let government ask retirees to pay more, leading Whitmer to call it diluted.
What the city of Boston did something very smart. They were able to do coalition bargaining.
And while Walsh, during the campaign, cited group negotiations with unions as a way out, Whitmer says that could make matters worse.
Cities and towns have moved away from coalition bargaining because it gives more power to the unions. And clearly the unions are fighting every step of the way in terms of changing these retiree health care benefits.
Now, of course, your community has an alternative to draconian tax hikes to cover these costs if they continue to mushroom. They can slash services, cutting police and fire, and expanding class sizes in the schools. We'll see if the response from the governor and mayor-elect evolves beyond nothing to see here, move along. Paula, back to you.
Stay tuned. John Keller, thank you very much. And it looks as though the Lawrence residents won't know the next mayor until the weekend. The recount for the mayoral race is scheduled now for Saturday. Mayor William Lantigua is challenging the election results. Only 57 votes separate him from challenger Daniel Rivera.
Emerson College is now changing its name.
Just for a day. Fans of the popular movie will love one.
And a mission to Mars, what NASA hopes to learn about the red planet. Al's checking with Jack and Lisa to see what's going up next at 6. Hey, guys.
Hi, Jonathan. Paula, thank you. Hackers hijacked the police department's computer system.
And the police actually had to pay a ransom to get the files back. New at 6 o'clock, the scam targeting computer users all over New England and how it could happen to you.
Boy, this was quite a scene today. A driver crashing into a pond in Plymouth.
At 6 o'clock, you'll hear from the man who witnessed that crash and then rushed in to rescue the driver.
The Philippines has been devastated by Typhoon Haiyan. Thousands have lost their lives, and there's been massive property damage.
The victims urgently need your help. Visit cbsboston.com for information or to make a donation.
CBS Boston cares.
They thought their dream of having children was over.
Absolutely heart-wrenching because there's no cure, no treatment.
But now, a medical breakthrough, and parents say it's nothing short of a miracle.
I was amazed.
A simple procedure preventing some of the most devastating genetic diseases.
This gave us a chance at a life with kids of our own.
How fast an inexpensive test is giving new hope to families who thought they could never have a healthy baby. Tuesday on WBZ News at 11.
What's it feel like to get a great deal at Happy Honda Days? Hit it, Michael Bolton. Now that the snow is falling down, baby, my love is calling your name. Catch the spirit. With standard features like Pandora compatibility and a rear camera, it's the perfect season to get a great deal on the 2014 CR-V from KBB.com's best value brand. Right now at your Honda dealer.
This is BMW Gallery at your service. It's where you get the right service and the right repair right on time. Plus, the Gallery Rewards program saves you money on original BMW parts, service, and more. And save big with BMW Value Service and get a price on oil changes. BMW Gallery is convenient with 2 locations to keep your ultimate driving mission performing at its best. That's sure to keep you smiling. That's the art of exceeding expectations. BMW Gallery, Norwood and Norwell.
The Paper Store.
Perfection.
Accessorize. Play.
Experience.
Relationships. Sentimental. Timeless. Occasion.
Remember.
Everything you're looking for this holiday season at the Paper Store.
There are a lot of great reasons to visit the Kia sales event. Because you can test drive an Optima with an available GDI turbo engine, a Sorento with available third-row seating, power liftgate, or a Forte, which gets an estimated 36 mpg highway. Plus, every Kia comes equipped with one of these. Looks like that test drive can last a lot longer than anticipated. See your local Kia dealer for great deals during the year-end sales event.
Tonight, NASA's newest Martian explorer is on its way to the Red Planet.
The Maven spacecraft launched this afternoon on board an unmanned Atlas V rocket.
3, 2, 1. Main engine start, ignition, and liftoff of the Atlas V with Maven, looking for clues about the evolution of Mars through its atmosphere.
So scientists want to know why and how Mars went from being warm and wet during its first billion years to cold and dry as it is today. It will take Maven 10 months to even reach the planet and will enter into orbit in September 2014. And the mission's costing $671 billion.
So next month, Emerson College will be changing its name just for one day only. December 4th, the college will be known as the Ron Burgundy School of Communication. You know, he's kind of a big deal, has many leather-bound books. Ron Burgundy, of course, is the name of Anchorman. In the Anchorman films, Will Ferrell, who plays Burgundy, will be in character, and in one of his cheesy suits, he meets students and screens his latest film. Emerson's president says Burgundy, quote, understands the power both of media as well as hairspray firsthand.
He loves to deliver the news.
He's hysterical.
They will have fun there. We come back, George Zimmerman in trouble with the law once again.
Still ahead for us, why Florida police just arrested the former neighborhood watchman again.
Police here in Lunenburg are still trying to figure out spray-painted racist graffiti on the house of a high school football player. That story is next.
We continue to follow breaking news in Arlington today. 2 adults and 2 infants found dead inside a home. We'll have the very latest information for you in the case up next.
Queen Latifah is a People's Choice nominee for favorite new talk show host. And next queen, secrets to look hotter.
Wait, I get to sleep and lose weight? Yeah. Not a problem.
Tomorrow at 9 on WBZ.
Your weekends just got brighter. Meteorologist Danielle Niles joins the WBZ AccuWeather team Saturday and Sunday mornings on WBZ News.
Today's weather on WBZ is brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers.
The Chevy Cruze offers an EPA estimated 38 mpg highway. That's crazy. Crazy efficient. 10 standard airbags. And you get stability track with traction control. That is like crazy protection. This interior is insane. It is insane. I was going to say crazy again.
Visit your local Chevy dealer today. Right now, qualified current lessees can get a 2014 Chevy Cruze LT for around $149 per month.
Unwrap the gift of Cirque Dreams holidays and fill your season with spectacle, imagination, and fantasy. Because there's no place like Cirque Dreams for the holidays.
At the Hanover Theater in Worcester, November 22nd through the 24th.
A wet basement can be a homeowner's worst nightmare. CrackX, industry leader in foundation crack repair, solves concrete problems permanently and affordably. Call us for a free estimate or visit us at crackx.com. CrackX, 25 years of stopping leaks, guaranteed.
Tonight's Primetime Lineup is brought to you by Santander. Introducing Santander, a bank for your ideas. Find out more and get started today at santanderbank.com.
Even when you're out 4, you're never far from home. With Xfinity Home, you can arm your security system, adjust your thermostat, and make sure your kids get home safely. All while you stock up the house. Simplify your life with the total home security and control solution. Plus, get 24/7 professional monitoring. Xfinity Triple Play subscribers add Xfinity Home for only $29.95 a month for 2 years. And get free installation and pay no activation fee. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
One click on buyatoyota.com and you can find the biggest selection of Toyota inventory in New England. And then see every Toyota special offer there is, even those not seen on TV. Plus, get a free independent trade-in value in seconds. Right now, see all-wheel drive leases below $189 a month with 2 years, no-cost maintenance. Buyatoyota.com, Toyota's official website for deals.
Breaking news in Arlington, 4 lives lost inside this home on Newland Road, and the victims, 2 adults and 2 baby boys. We're learning new information about the victims and have been throughout the afternoon.
Yeah, one victim's brother told us that she had twin sons, just infants, and that she'd been going through a rough divorce. Let's get back out to Paul Burton live in Arlington with more. Paul?
And Jonathan, this is just a shocking and horrifying story here in Arlington. A family of 4 gone, like you said, 2 adults and 2 twin infants under a year old. People here are absolutely terrified. Investigators are still on scene, including the DA's office. This is just hard to imagine. Right now, police are not releasing any names. They are not describing the circumstances of how they died. We do know police responded to a wellness call at 45 Newland Road here in Arlington by a nanny this afternoon. That's when they discovered the 4 bodies inside the first floor of this 2-family home. Now, investigators have been busy all day talking to neighbors. This is a quiet neighborhood. Neighbors describe it as very peaceful. There's a school just down the road. Arlington Chief of Police says they're not looking for any suspects, and folks around here are safe.
There is no risk to public safety at this time. We're quite certain that the community is safe and the people can go about their business this evening. We'll have officers in the neighborhood working with neighbors as they arrive home from work to help ensure that they're safe.
And a lot of neighbors still very shaken up, and they're asking a lot of questions on how and why this happened. Reporting live in Arlington, I'm Paul Burton, WBZ News.
We're going to switch gears a little bit, talk about a day that was just a very wild start to the week. We had the rainfall this morning with the commute, and temperatures almost felt spring-like outside. This evening, still very comfortable. 57 for Boston and Plymouth. In Bedford at 55 degrees, barely need a light jacket if you're out and about for this evening. The cold air is lagging the cold front that we had come through earlier on today. It's all here around the Great Lakes. That's the air that's producing some rain and snow showers at the moment. They stayed in the 30s all day across Michigan after the severe weather yesterday. Huge changes for them. Locally, we're mainly clear for the moment. There are some showers trying to move through southwestern New Hampshire, the Berkshires, and some of the higher terrain of Vermont. As we get through tonight, certainly the higher elevations could see a sprinkle or a flurry. The colder air is working its way in. By tomorrow morning, we're looking at the 30 all across the map. Big change, and we won't get much warmer tomorrow afternoon. We'll talk more about that end of the forecast in a few minutes. Paula?
See you then. Eric, thank you. It was a big show of support for a Lunenburg teenager after vandals sprayed racist graffiti on his home. Students at Lunenburg High School were red today to show that they're behind Isaac Phillips 100%. School officials and state police are investigating the graffiti was sprayed on the player's home. And as Ken McLeod shows us, today officers met with the boy's parents.
There was a lot of red streaming from Lunenburg High this afternoon as students sought to support a classmate.
Everyone was just talking about how they felt bad for Isaac, just so he knows that people are there for him.
They're talking about football player Isaac Phillips, of course, the 8th grader with a black father and white mother, whose home was spray-painted with racist graffiti last week featuring the N-word. The 13-year-old stayed home from school today, and his family got a visit from the police chief.
We want the child to go back to school and feel comfortable there, feel like he belongs, and that's what our goal is, if nothing else.
Officials canceled the varsity's football game Friday, but only admitted to the family today that white Lunenburg players recently shouted the N-word at black Worcester players, nearly sparking a melee on the field.
They said they've never had any issue, any type of racial issue, period. Obviously they have.
The controversy actually took root in September when someone tossed Isaac's expensive cleats in the trash and punctured his bike tires. His parents brought those things to school officials, but went to police when the graffiti appeared.
I don't think it's representative of the community in any way, shape, or form.
Indeed, last night, hundreds of people turned out on the town common to condemn hate crime and urge someone to drop a dime on the spray painter.
With all the people that know about it, I'm sure that someone will come forward, but it might take a while.
Isaac says he is pondering a transfer, but won't make a final decision until this nasty ordeal gets sorted out. Police have now cleared the family to remove this graffiti, a chore that some of Isaac's teammates and friends have already volunteered for. In Lunenburg, Ken McLeod, WBZ News.
Lunenburg police discussed the case with the FBI this afternoon, and the Worcester DA's office is already working on it. Take a look at some incredible video showing the moment a passenger jet crashed in Russia. There it goes, and it falls straight down. The Boeing 737 carrying 50 people went into this steep dive and exploded into a fireball on the tarmac. This was the second attempt at landing. The crew told the traffic controller that they weren't ready to land the first time as the plane was approaching, but didn't say what the problem was. Investigators are looking into possible pilot error or equipment failure.
Former Florida neighborhood watchman George Zimmerman is under arrest once again. Deputies responded to a disturbance call at his girlfriend's home. She told them that Zimmerman had pointed a shotgun at her. He is now charged with assault and battery. Zimmerman and his estranged wife were involved in a domestic dispute in September. Police didn't file any charges in that case, citing lack of evidence. And in July, the jury found him not guilty in connection with Trayvon Martin's murder. Trayvon Martin's mother spoke at Harvard Law School today. Since her son's death, Sabrina Fulton has spoken around the country, calling for changes in the standard ground law under which George Zimmerman was acquitted. Fulton says while nothing will bring her son back, changes in the law would leave a legacy that she would be proud of.
I believe that I have to do my part as a parent to make a difference. So it may be for my own selfish reasons that I attend these events like these, but I want to make a difference.
As it stands, 22 states have laws similar to Florida's Stand Your Ground defense.
Well, tonight's Monday Night Football matchup between the Pats and the Carolina Panthers is bound to be terrific.
This is a big game. Pats have 2 losses on the season. The Panthers have 3 losses. Dan Roach joining us live at the CBS scene in Foxborough tonight with a look at some of the keys to this game. Danny?
Yeah, Jonathan and Paula, and the Carolina Panthers are one of the best teams in football right now. They have won 5 straight after a 1-3 start to their season. So let's take a look at 3 keys that I think possibly will lead the Patriots to victory coming up in their big Monday night matchup. We begin first with Cam Newton. Is a quarterback who can hurt you with both his arm and his feet. Newton is the team's second leading rusher with 268 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground alone this season. So if you're the Pats, you choose which one to shut down. And that would be, for my opinion, make him throw, where he's thrown 13 TD passes, but also 8 interceptions, so make him pass the ball. Next up, Tom Brady has been sacked 26 times in 9 games this season. Last season, he was sacked 27 times over 16. So the O-line needs, again, to keep number 12 upright against the Panther defense that has 29 sacks on the season and got to quarterback Colin Kaepernick 6 times in Carolina's big win at San Francisco last Sunday. Finally, the Patriots are coming off their bye week, and they were given 6 days off by Bill Belichick, so they should be rested. But will they be rusty? We shall see. But under the head coach, this Pats team, 10-3 following the bye week. So Bill seems once again to know what he's doing with his team. So we shall see. And also a good omen, the Patriots 3-0 against the NFC South this season, having beaten Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and Atlanta. So they are in good shape there. 41-9 under Bill Belichick against the NFC since 2001. A lot of numbers trending in the Patriots' direction. We'll see what happens tonight. We'll have much more coming up. Don't forget MyTV38, our 5th quarter postgame show. Christian Fourier joins me from the CBS scene. Steve Burtley Company down in Carolina. But for now, from the CBS scene, a great place to come watch some Monday Night Football and have some food and fun. Jonathan and Paul, let's go back to you.
It'll be an exciting night of football. Danny, thank you. Toronto's embattled mayor is at it again. His latest antics as a reporter confronts him on accusations that he's an addict.
And questioning the new recommendations for cholesterol drugs, why some think the new guidelines go too far.
Everything
larger your inventory, the better your selection. At Bach Honda, we have everything you're looking for at one of our 2 great locations. Bach Honda on the Automile, Route 1 in Norwood, or Bach Honda West in Westford, Mass. Come on down! Choose from hundreds of new and pre-owned vehicles online at Bach.com. 2 great Bach Honda locations, 1 legendary low Bach Honda price.
The sight of an orchard on a beautiful fall day, the scent of morning dew on the first harvest, the touch of a helping hand that yields the perfect pick. But nothing is as sweet as the taste of the final slice. Marie Callender's knows every pie is made with only the best ingredients and prepared with care.
What sets Marie Callender's apart from the other pies that are available in the freezer is the care we take to make them special. It's important for Marie Callender's pies to be made with premium ingredients that are fresh and taste homemade, because those are pies used to celebrate special events with your family. We use fresh blue apples. We evaluate both the sweetness of it as well as the texture, and we also make sure that the apples are cut to the proper size so that when they're cooked, they all have the same firm texture. We use pure cane sugar, premium cinnamon. We actually have apple lattice stretched by hand at the bakery so that every pie has a perfect basket weave on the top. Marie Callender's pies taste like homemade, and they contain probably the best ingredients that you can have.
From the peeled and sliced apples to the signature hand touches of the other fruit and cream pies, Marie Callender's great tasting desserts are always made with the highest quality ingredients and special care that remind you of home.
Marie Callender's pies have a lot of signature touches that make it look as though your grandmother did. The meringue is actually peaked by hand. We also put the chocolate curl onto the pies by hand. It is as fresh as though you baked it at the bakery.
This holiday season and year-round, enjoy the delicious homemade taste of Marie Callender's single-serve and full-size fruit and cream pies. And don't forget to top your pie with real cream goodness of ready-with whipped topping. Pick up a Marie Callender's pie in the freezer aisle and learn more at supermarketguru.com.
What's it feel like to get a great deal at Happy Holidays? Cue the Bolton. Catch the spirit. With standard features like Bluetooth and a rear-view camera, it's the perfect season to get a great deal on the 2014 Accord, a 2013 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. Right now, at your dealer.
On the Health Watch tonight, questioning some new guidelines as to who should be treated with cholesterol-lowering drugs. Some experts say that the recommendations based on risk would mean many more Americans would be prescribed statins. Allison Harmelin takes a much closer look for us.
Last week, the nation's top heart organizations released new guidelines on who should get cholesterol-lowering drugs and a new online calculator. Now doctors at Brigham and Women's Hospital are raising concerns that the calculator overestimates the risk of heart attack or stroke, which could result in patients taking drugs that they don't need. Doctors used to rely on specific cholesterol levels to determine which patients needed statins. The new guidelines recommend statins for 4 high-risk groups, including patients with cardiovascular disease, those with a bad cholesterol of 190 or higher, patients between 40 and 75 with type 2 diabetes, and patients with a 10-year risk of heart attack or stroke of at least 7.5% according to the risk calculator. Cardiologist Dr. Tara Narula says most of the guidelines are a step in the right direction, but says she will tell patients about the concerns.
There is controversy surrounding these guidelines and risk estimates, and we need more information before we start to make clinical decisions and change our practice.
Experts who wrote the guidelines are defending them. Dr. Neil Stone says any flaws in the formula are small, and doctors should not delay putting the new advice into practice. Allison Harmelin for CBS News, New York.
Incredible news that could help the thousands of Americans waiting for lung transplants. Researchers say that lungs can stay alive for an hour or two after death, thanks to the air left inside of them. Right now, registered organ donors can't donate if they die outside of a hospital. But a new study is trying to change that. Lungs that pass inspection will be transplanted into patients willing to take a chance on the non-traditional organs. There are only about 1,700 lung transplants every year.
Okay, that was weird looking. Still ahead for us, a chaotic confrontation call on tape. What happened during this traffic stop that prompted police to open fire on a minivan that had kids inside?
After a unbelievable Monday, well, the cold's coming back. Plus, we'll take a look at the huge tornado outbreak across the Midwest this weekend.
And as we head to break, a quick look at what's hot tonight on CBSBoston.com.
It's Boston's best and brightest holiday tradition, the Faneuil Hall Tree Lighting Spectacular, hosted by Jonathan Elias and C. Hughes, with performances by Paula Cole and Keith Lockhart, and the Tanglewood Festival Chorus, plus appearances by Boston's favorite sports teams, and a special guest from the North Pole. Saturday at 7:30 on WBZ and MyTV 38. Presented by IBEW Local 103 and NECA. WBZ is your home for the holidays.
Visit GetDragon.com this Wednesday, and when you buy one copy of Dragon Speech Recognition, you'll get a second copy free. That's 2 incredible gifts for just $99.99. Wednesday the 20th, only at GetDragon.com, or call 888-881-9970.
The Toyota Tacoma, massive one-piece frame rails, fully boxed subframe. It's built to face New England's toughest conditions. Question is, can it face its toughest critics? Evidently, yes. The Toyota Tacoma, not only tough, but an incredible value. Ask someone you know who drives one.
Diamonds, the Jewelry Exchange has half-carat solitaires for $4.99, 1 carat $9.90, and 1 carat certified solitaires $19.90. We have thousands of GIA diamonds, guaranteed the lowest price, and set while you watch. Buy direct, the Jewelry Exchange in Sudbury.
Beautifully practical and practically beautiful Cadillac SRX.
Lease this 2014 SRX for around $369 per month. Visit NewEnglandCadillac.com for this attractive offer.
Visit GetDragon.com this Wednesday, and when you buy one copy of Dragon Speech Recognition, you'll get a second copy free. That's 2 incredible gifts for just $99.99. Wednesday the 20th, only at GetDragon.com, or call 888-881-9970.
Good evening, Mrs. Lowe. Yes, send that flow. Aren't you sweet?
Licensed phone reps available 24/7. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Your community, your stories. WBZ News at 11.
There's a very disturbing video tonight of a traffic stop escalating and then ending with a New Mexico State police officer firing shots at a minivan that was full of children.
Get out of the vehicle. Get out of the vehicle right now. I'm calling you guys already facing evasion charges right now. You ran away from me, okay?
She starts to pull away. The trooper stops her again and pulls the woman out of the minivan. The two arguing while 5 children in the vehicle are screaming for the trooper to stop. That's when the woman's 14-year-old son got out and then rushed the trooper. When the woman took off again, one officer hit the window with a baton, another fired shots at the minivan. The woman and her son are now both facing charges, and the state police are under investigation for the way they handled this incident.
Wow. Toronto City Council just stripped Mayor Rob Ford of the rest of his remaining powers, cutting his office budget by 60%. Ford now has no legislative power at all, retains his title, and he can represent the city at official functions. Ford admitted he'd smoked crack cocaine in the past, but during an interview with CNN, he insisted he's not an addict.
But I'm not an addict. Why go see an addict when I'm not an addict?
They hate me with a passion. You ever got drunk before, Bill?
Of course.
Okay, sure.
I'm not running the...
Oh, it doesn't matter. See, this is the thing.
Can't you see why some would question your judgment?
So what, so lie about it? Just hide? No one else in the
You
world?
would do it in the first place.
Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong what they said. They said, do you smoke crack and are you a crack addict? No, I don't smoke crack and I'm not a crack addict. Have I? Yes, I have. So that's what, I didn't lie. I don't smoke crack. I haven't smoked crack in over a year. But did I? But come on. Oh, it's not semantic. To you, it's semantic. It's typical me. You guys are the same. You're all cut from the same cloth. Me, if you get, you know what, you guys can spin it every way you want.
Mayor Ford says he'll take the council to court, and he vows to run for re-election. At some point, you just, I don't know, you feel bad.
Well, he's lost his powers now.
Well, there you go. All right, let's turn our attention to the weather, because this was a fantastic day. Hope everybody got their last gasp of getting out and enjoying it.
And we were able to enjoy it after those pictures that came out over the weekend of tornadoes.
Just an unbelievable outbreak on Sunday. It started early, before lunchtime. This is video of the tornado damage in the Midwest. Really just breathtaking, especially when you look from the aerial perspective. The storm destroyed hundreds of homes, and hundreds of thousands of people are still without power tonight. Now, in Peoria, Illinois, news anchors realized they needed to stop telling people to take shelter and take shelter themselves.
Now is the time to take shelter, get to your basement, get to the centermost portion of your home, and take cover. I'm hearing things right now, Chuck.
Yes.
I think we may need to take shelter right now ourselves.
We do.
We need to go off the air.
Yeah.
We will be back when we can.
Right. We'll be right back.
Let's go.
Some eerie moments right there, and you can hear the wind coming up outside of that studio. And believe it or not, National Weather Service office, when they are under threat, they will also evacuate and go to their storm shelters, and they'll pass responsibility over to the next closest office, and they will issue the warnings and keep an eye on the situation. I wanted to show you a look at the forecast and what actually happened. And really great work by the Storm Prediction Center, which issues all the watches and outs there in Norman, Oklahoma. Right in here, this is where they're expecting the severe weather. And they issued a high risk, which is big news for this time of the year, really any time of the year. That's in that purple area, and you see all the tornadoes almost exactly in that risk. Is it rare? Absolutely. This is from Climate Central showing where all the severe reports were, and climatologically, or on average, where would you expect them this time of year? The Gulf Coast. All the reports way outside of there. And we're getting more of those confirmations coming in this evening. More information on Twitter, by the way, at Eric Fisher. Now, around here locally, this is the same storm system. We're snow up into Canada, some showers across western New York tonight. Of course, around here, it's a beautiful afternoon. We have clear skies right now. Few echoes are starting to show up around the Monadnock region. This is likely not reaching the ground, maybe a couple of sprinkles over the highest elevation as we head through tonight. Temperatures still very mild. We're in the 50s all across the region, 59 in Lawrence. The colder air is all off to the north and west, and it starts to move in as we head through the night. So by 11 p.m., you notice more 40s on the map. Still not bad for this time of the year. As we head toward tomorrow morning, you're getting ready for work and school. Well, now we're down to about 34 in Norwood at 7 a.m., 33 in Bedford, feeling a little more late autumnal and more wintry. And as we head through the day tomorrow, you notice 3 o'clock, we've got mainly just low 40s on the map, so temperatures will not budge much as we head through our Tuesday. The morning commute, it could be a sprinkle or a flurry. Temperatures down in the 30s. It will be blustery. Wind chills can be down to the 20s, so feeling much different than what we saw today. For lunchtime, we'll see sunshine breaking out right around 40 degrees and breezy out of the west-northwest. And as we head to the evening commute, we'll be falling back through the 30s. Tomorrow night is back into the 20s. In terms of the highs, again, it's the 30s across the higher elevations to the north, mainly low 40s here locally across much of southern New England. A little bit below average, but not unusually so for this time of year. Otherwise, it's pretty quiet as we head through Wednesday and into the day on Thursday. It's mainly sunny skies, it's dry, it's cool, and that trend is going to keep on going all the way through Friday. So your WBZ AccuWeather 7-day forecast pans out like this. Temperature is a little below average for the next couple of days, right near average to end the week, and our next chance of rain isn't until Saturday. We'll watch that one because, of course, we got the tree lighting at Faneuil Hall. That's on Saturday.
That'll be great.
Don't cancel plans yet.
All right, Eric.
Thanks, Eric.
You can forget about the sheep. Some people now are finding help falling asleep with their smartphones.
After the break, the pros and cons of turning on your phone before you turn in for the night. Now here are Jack and Lisa with a look at what's ahead at 6.
Well, Paula and Jonathan, we know that next year's Boston Marathon will be a very emotional event.
And our organizers want to get survivors involved.
New on our 6 o'clock news, how people deeply affected by the bombings can get a reserved spot in next year's race.
And more of this breaking news from Arlington. 2 adults and 2 very young children found dead in a home. We spoke to a victim's brother. We'll have the very latest on what we've learned about this tragedy next at 6.
We gotta go. Oh, now I gotta go. Oh, can you make that to go?
These days, nobody has time to get sick, but MinuteClinic makes it easy to get well. Our nurse practitioners can diagnose and write prescriptions for everything from strep throat to sinus infections with no appointment necessary, so you can feel better in no time.
You guys want to go to the park? Yeah!
MinuteClinic, the medical clinic in CVS Pharmacy. Accepts Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Find a clinic near you at MinuteClinic.com.
What does it feel like to get a great deal at Happy Honda Days? Like this? Catch the spirit with a great deal on a 2013 Civic with standard features like Bluetooth and a rear-view camera from KBB.com's best value brand. Right now at your Honda dealer.
At Mako, we're experts in both collision repair and auto painting. We've serviced over 17 million cars and offer a nationwide warranty. So come to the body shop that's easy, affordable, and reliable. Mako, America's body shop.
Trouble falling at night can make for a very slow-moving morning.
Don't you hate those? But as Carrie Connolly shows us, now many people are finding sweet dreams all thanks to their smartphones.
Scott Rains turns to technology when it's time to turn in.
Apps help me with my sleep in a couple different ways. The one that I use mainly, it has a feature that is a kind of gradual alarm. It also has a way to estimate my sleep quality based on, okay, how much I'm in deep sleep.
The apps are designed to help with relaxation techniques, provide white noise, or measure how well you rest.
The sleep aid apps can actually track your movements by using your smartphone's built-in accelerometer. And what the accelerometer does is detect motion. So it's become so easy and cheap to track your sleep that more and more people are jumping on board with the trend.
For millions of Americans who suffer from sleep problems, don't expect a quick fix from your phone.
They're not able to diagnose sleep illness. They're certainly not able to treat it.
Sleep experts recommend going to bed in a dark room without any electronics. But with so many people refusing to unplug, the apps can have some benefits.
It gets people thinking about their sleep and how to improve it. That's good. The downside is that it might introduce temptation to get on a social networking site or to text your friends, or you might receive phone calls at night.
And if you're going to use an app while you sleep, make sure the phone is plugged in. These sleep tracking apps can use up to 30% of your battery life. I'm Carrie Connolly, WBZ News.
Well, stay with us. We have much more still ahead.
That is going to do it for 5 o'clock, but the news at 6 starts now.
Breaking news, a family found dead inside an Arlington home, and twin baby boys are among the victims.
Saved from a sinking car.
I jumped right in. He needed to get out of the car, because it wasn't safe for him to be there.
The stranger who pulled the driver out of the water moments after he crashed into a pond.
A police department targeted by extortionists. Why you could be next.
The rain is gone and the warm temperatures will soon follow. Return to more normal November weather tonight.
Live from our studios in Boston, WBZ News at 6 starts right now.
And more on the breaking news. Securing a horrific crime scene tonight. Infant twins are among 4 found dead inside an Arlington home. The DA confirms that 2 of the victims are less than a year old. I'm Jack Williams.
I'm Lisa Hughes. Police say they were called to this home around noon by a neighbor who was worried about the family, and that when officers got inside, they found the bodies of the babies and the 2 adults. Our team coverage begins with Paul Burton live tonight in Arlington. Paul?
Lisa, this is just hard to imagine. This is a devastating story here in Arlington. A family of 4 gone, 2 of them just infants under a year old. Their bodies were discovered this afternoon inside this home here at 45 Newland Road.
Heather, we can show you the police officers that are indeed.
Flying and shocking discovery inside this 2-family home on Newland Road in Arlington. A family of 4 found dead, 2 adults and 2 infants. Investigators say the police responded to a wellness call from a nanny who came to the home this afternoon.
The officers were able to make entrance into the apartment. They located 4 individuals, 2 adults, 2 children. Those 4 individuals have been pronounced dead. We are in the process of making notification to next of kin.
Neighbors say the mother of the twins bought this home a few years ago, and her then boyfriend moved in but were having a rough go at marriage. Right now, police are not saying how the 4 died, but they are not looking for any suspects, and the neighborhood is not at risk.
There is no risk to public safety at this time. We're quite certain that the community is safe and that people can go about their business this evening. We'll have officers in the neighborhood working with neighbors.
All day long, investigators have been going in and out of this home, questioning neighbors. Earlier today, another couple who lives on the top floor of the 2-family home left the house completely shaken up, along with this quiet, peaceful community.
Oh, it breaks my heart. I just think the poor innocent kids.
So tonight, a neighborhood in shock. Investigators still on scene here. The road is completely blocked off here. There's many people still gathered around asking questions how this could have happened and why. Obviously, this is still under investigation. Reporting live in Arlington tonight, I'm Paul Burton, WBZ News. Jack, back to you.
Yeah, little twin boys. Oh, boy. Well, the DA says investigators still are notifying family members, but we have spoken with the brother of one of the victims. Kate Merrill talked with him, and Kate joins us live now in Malden. Kate.
Jack, we're not releasing the name of the woman found today, but we spoke with her brother, Ben, this afternoon, who tells me the couple found today was going through a nasty divorce. In fact, the husband had just moved out a few days ago. He also tells me his sister had twin baby boys. He says his sister was trying to leave her husband. She had started the whole divorce process, but it was not going well, he said. He, Ben, found out on the news today, and we watched this afternoon as Malden police notified him and the family this afternoon here in Malden about what happened. We spoke with her brother a short time ago.
It is horrifying. This is what I found out, but I'm not something to say. It's a horrible situation. And if it's true, but we still trying to get confirmation.
A difficult divorce? Is this the situation?
Yes, I think he just moved out a couple of days ago, and I think she's going through the motion of going through divorce.
Tell me about your sister. Tell me about her.
I mean, she's a person, loving mom, a loving, caring person.
When we spoke to the family here in Malden this afternoon, they were still waiting for more information about exactly what happened today from police. Those twin boys, Ben tells me, were not quite money. Live in Malden, Kate Merrill, WBZ News. Lisa, back to you.
Kate, thank you. The discovery of the 4 bodies stunned people in Arlington, some of whom knew the family. Others only found out about the killings after getting a message from the child's school. Christina Hager continues our team coverage. She's also live tonight in Arlington. Christina?
So that elementary school is about a block away, right up the road, so you can imagine some tough conversations for parents who had to go pick up their kid and then walk right by this crime scene.
This is an unfortunate situation, and, adults is one thing. Kids, it's gut-wrenching. Gut-wrenching.
Onlookers stunned. The more police were in and out of this Newland Road home, the more people gathered to find out what was going on, thinking about the couple who lived here.
She was very quiet and she was not terribly friendly. And
Claire McFarlane says she last saw the family through the window of their home Saturday.
Oh, they were under 1. They were under a year-old. Beautiful, beautiful babies. Terribly sad.
Neighbors say the father was meticulous with his landscaping and masonry work in front of the home. Some say they saw an emergency vehicle here this weekend, but never got an explanation. And still, so many questions.
Why would you kill a kid?
Well, by all accounts, a very quiet couple lived on the first floor here. Neighbors say they kept to themselves. A lot of the people who came here and gathered here this afternoon wanted to listen in on that police news conference. That's why they were here. They walked away a little frustrated without a lot of answers. In Arlington, Christina Hager, WBZ News. Lisa, back to you.
Thank you, Christina. Our team of reporters will be working to get more information and more answers about what happened at that home in Arlington. We'll have the very latest at 10 o'clock on MyTV 38 and right here on WBZ News at 11.
Keeping an eye on the weather tonight, some big changes that are working our way after highs in the mid-60s this afternoon. Just unbelievable. The colder air is starting to come in, and these showers are popping on the leading edge of that colder air. A couple of these reaching the ground, most drying up before they reach the surface. Less chance of seeing a sprinkle. Be on the Berkshires tonight, also the higher terrain, the Monadnock region, and into southern Vermont. So patchy clouds, chance of a sprinkle, much lesser chances for any showers as we move down towards southeastern parts of the state. And by tomorrow morning, we're back into the 30s. So a big change in air mass for us. The colder air flowing in. Tomorrow, those temperatures will not budge very much. The idea for this week is a lot of bright, cool, and dry weather. The next chance for a storm is this weekend. We'll timeline for all of it coming up in a little bit. Jack?
Okay, Eric, thank you. Now, new at 6 o'clock, out of control and right into a pond. The driver of a car crashes into the water. It's a man named King. They came to his rescue. The driver was stuck in a car that was sinking fast. But as Jim Smith shows us, one man rushed right into the water to save the driver before it was too late.
Yes, yeah, there is. It's probably, I think, about 10 feet deep.
King Rudolph says he didn't have any time to think. He was working at Cordage Park in Plymouth when a car suddenly careened into Mill Pond. A man trapped inside in the water.
He spun out. 2 cars got hit here, right in these first 2 spots. Took down that sign there, spun around, and there was a car parked here, second spot in, and it ended up 25 feet in.
The Saab sedan appeared to go out of control in the busy parking lot, miraculously missing any people, but hitting a handful of other cars before plummeting into the pond.
I jumped right in, pulled the car a little bit closer to safety so I could get to him. So once I opened the door, the water just flooded in, and I grabbed him and got him out as quick as I could. I didn't know if he was hurt. At that point in time, he needed to get out of the car.
As you might expect, the Plymouth Fire Department immediately rushed to this scene the second they got the call, but fortunately, the hard work was already done because of what this rescuer did.
We had our dive team members on standby just in case there was a extrication to be performed.
And luckily, because the action guy took
it. That wasn't necessary, fortunately.
Back at the scene, King said the driver appeared to be in his 60s and looked like he was okay.
He was fortunate. And everybody was. I think it was a good day for everybody. Nobody got hurt.
In Plymouth, Jim Smith, WBZ News.
Well, survivors of the Boston Marathon bombings have a special opportunity to run next year's race. The Boston Athletic Association is setting aside a limited number of spots for people who were affected by the attacks. Over the next week and a half, the BAA is going to accept entries from survivors on its website. Applicants must be able to complete a marathon in less than 6.5 hours. Well, tonight, the Patriots are going up against one very tough opponent.
Well, they have a big game against those red-hot Carolina Panthers. Steve Burton is there live right now. Steve.
Hi, Jack and Lisa. Yes, big game, big night. Patriots date against the Panthers, and a key player has just been activated. Shane Vereen. We'll talk about him after sports. Stay with us.
Also coming up, police hit by hackers. The scam that forced a local apartment to pay up, and why you might also be a target.
Casinos rejected by town after town. Do Massachusetts voters still think gambling is a good idea?
And spring today, reality check tomorrow. We'll take a look at some much colder temperatures when we come back.
This is BMW Gallery at your service. It's where you get the right service and the right repair right on time. Plus, the Gallery Rewards program saves you money on original BMW parts, service, and more. And save big with BMW Value Service and get a great price on oil changes. BMW Gallery is convenient with 2 locations to keep your ultimate driving machine performing at its best. That's sure to keep you smiling. That's the art of exceeding expectations. BMW Gallery, Norwood and Norwell.
Hi, we can't come to the phone. I'm invading the bathroom, and Kate and the kids are staying with their mom. I
get guys in here tearing down walls and putting in bathtubs, so leave a message and I'll get back to you when I can.
Honey, hope you're not working too hard. Miss you.
At Bathfitter, we know you have better things to do with your time. One-day installation, no mess, no fuss, and a lifetime warranty. Call now for a free in-home estimate or visit our website and discover what millions of people already have.
I Love Lucy, live on stage. Come be a part of a live studio audience and witness firsthand the side-splitting antics of America's favorite foursome, live and in color for the very first time. TV Guide calls it the most entertaining production seen in years. Don't miss Lucy, Ricky, Fred, Ethel, and the hilarious cast of I Love Lucy live on stage.
December 3rd through 22nd at the City Emerson Colonial Theater. Tickets at LexusBroadwayInBoston.com.
3, 2, 1.
The perfect stocking stuffers. The Jewelry Exchange has infinity. Journey circle and cross pendants for $99. Diamond studs for $59. Pearl necklaces $39. And 1-carat diamond and tanzanite pendants $49. Buy diamond and factory direct. The Jewelry Exchange in Sudbury.
Welcome to Eastern Bank. How can I help you, Wilford?
I'd like to get a deposit, please.
Great. What do you have today?
Just a few things. She's a princess.
This year, Eastern Bank is teaming up with Toys for Tots.
Wow, big deposit today.
So please, bring a new, unwrapped toy to any Eastern Bank branch, and let's all make the holidays a bit brighter for families who need it most.
What does it feel like to get a great deal at Happy Honda Days? Like this? Catch the spirit with a great deal on a 2013 Civic with standard features like Bluetooth and a rear camera from KBB.com's best value brand. Right now at your Honda dealer.
It's the next stage for the working relationship between two leaders, Boston's mayor-elect and the governor. They say they expect their partnership to thrive when Marty Walsh moves into City Hall. Walsh met with Governor Patrick at the State House today for the first time since Walsh won the election. The two men have worked together for years, dating back to the governor's first campaign, and they say they share similar values.
We both care deeply for people. We both have a passion. A lot of the issues that I've fought for up here on Beacon Hill around recovery issues and mental health and substance abuse and issues, the governor's been right there.
This is a strong partnership, and it's not a new partnership.
Well, both men also said that growing the city and the state's economies would be among their top priorities. Jack?
Well, Lisa, hackers. Can you believe it? Hackers hitting a local police department. Officers were given a choice, pay a ransom or lose your computer assistant. Well, as Bree Season shows us, hackers are now using technology invented by MIT to paralyze businesses, government agencies, even home computers.
That came from an actual screenshot.
For 2 decades, Tan Nguyen has provided tech support to New England businesses and residents. Since September, his Woburn shop has seen about 10 cases of CryptoLocker ransomware.
They created a virus that locked up people's computer and then demand for a ransom.
The virus comes as an email attachment and shows up as a bright red screen with a countdown clock explaining that it will destroy your computer files unless you pay for a decryption key.
These hackers know how important data are to people, and without the key, nobody can unlock those files.
The Swansea Police Department declined an interview but confirmed that earlier this month they were the targets of a hacker who seized their files and threatened to destroy them. 3 days later, Swansea paid $750 in an untraceable online currency. The FBI's Cyber Crimes Division is investigating many cases like this. Their advice, do not open or download attachments from people you don't know. Keep firewalls or antivirus software up to date. Don't pay any ransoms and consult with an expert about recovering lost data. Experts like Tan warn that backing up your data is crucial because it's not just businesses and government agencies at risk.
This particular virus or any virus does not discriminate against anybody.
Bree Season, WBZ News.
Well, life's certainly getting awfully complicated when you con the Saugus Police Department.
Right, of all people.
Something's got to be done. I'll run for mayor next. All right.
Let's send it over to Eric Fisher now with a look at a forecast that's also complicated, but at least today for all the right reasons.
Today was just an interesting day to kick off the week. If you woke up early, you were commuting, you were stuck in the rain, and then you walked outside at lunch and it was in the mid-60s, and now tonight the wintry air is moving back in. Rain totals, much needed. We had between a quarter and about 3/4 of an inch of total rain. Boston always tends to be the lowest total on there. I'm going to talk to those folks at Logan, see how they're measuring, but about 1/5 of an inch of rain at the airport itself. That system is moving out to sea, but you notice that the cold air didn't chase it like some fronts. As soon as they pass, you notice the change. A lot of the cold air is with this secondary cold front that's moving down across the Great Lakes, touching off a couple of rain and snow showers, and even here locally, a few sprinkles. And I suspect that a lot of this is drying up before it reaches the ground. If you're in southern New Hampshire, you're on Twitter or via email, let me know if you're seeing any raindrops, but I think it's mostly the higher elevations for tonight. Monadnock region, the Berkshires, and out across portions of southern Vermont, in Boston and down across the Cape and the islands, mainly talking about a dry night. The temperature is the other part of the story. Up to 66 in Boston today, 63 in Hyannis, 59 in Provincetown. A little feel of spring, and you can get these bonus days here and there in the month of November. Well, tonight, the temperatures start to drop. And as we head toward 11 o'clock, maybe the last trip out to walk the dog, we'll be looking at more 40s than anything else. Still fairly comfortable. But by tomorrow morning, now we're down to about 34 in Fitchburg, low 30s in some of the western Boston suburbs for in Metro West to kick off the day. And the idea is that as we head through tomorrow, not a lot of warming. Even with quite a bit of sunshine, we're mainly looking at the low 40s, pretty much about 10 degrees below average for this time of the year. So for tomorrow's commute, it may start out mostly cloudy. This is as that second cold front is marching through the region. Gusty as well, and there could be a sprinkle or a flurry to kick off the day. We head toward midday, more sunshine, but still very chilly. 40 degrees and that gusty wind out of the west-northwest. And as we head toward the evening, the temperatures will start settling down through the 30s. We'll get some wind chill values back into the 20s by later on tomorrow night. Otherwise, the story for this week is high pressure, well in control. We head through Wednesday, it's all sunshine, not too much wind. As we head toward Thursday and Friday, we may work in a little bit more cloud cover. But this isn't the system we're eyeing for the weekend. The weekend system is the next chance for more significant rain. Otherwise, this week is all dry and pretty bright. Also, watching the tropics, which we can still see some activity this time of year. This is subtropical storm Melissa. It's way out in the Atlantic. It's no threat to land. Subtropical means it has some tropical characteristics, but it's not a fully fledged storm. The hurricane season in the Atlantic, by the way, ends at the end of November. And for the Patriots, maybe you're watching your fantasy lineup, probably already set, but weather not a factor either way. Mid-50s as we head through the game tonight. Mainly clear skies. Hopefully, good things for the Patriots with that big matchup, especially with the Broncos coming to town this coming Sunday. Your WBZ AccuWeather 7-day forecast. The chilly stuff is mainly just here for Tuesday and Wednesday with highs in the 40s. Tomorrow night's the cold one. It's back in the low to mid-20s. We head into Thursday, a seasonable day. Friday, the clouds will start to increase as a warm front noses in. We're watching Saturday, rain looking likely at this point. The storm track is still a bit in question. If this thing goes a little farther off toward the south and east, we could get some pretty good wintry mix across northern New England. And then the big idea for Sunday and Monday is much, much colder air with highs in the 30s and a gusty wind. Sunday night at Foxborough could be interesting. Jack, Lisa, back to you.
And Saturday with the Faneuil Hall tree lighting.
Yes.
Well, there's still time for that to change, and hopefully it will, Eric. Thank you. Also talking about the Patriots tonight, before we get to the Broncos, we have this tough matchup with the Panthers.
I'll tell you, they're red hot right now. Steve Burton is in Charlotte and is going to bring us a big update. Steve.
All right, Jack and Lisa, thank you very much. Just finally, after 15 long days, the Patriots finally play a football game tonight. Yes, after beating up on the Pittsburgh Steelers, that seemed like forever ago. But tonight, they got a date with the Carolina Panthers, and tonight is certainly not going to be easy whatsoever. Rob Gronkowski told us he is itching to play tonight.
I'm just waiting for the game to come up Monday, so super excited, super pumped, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a great atmosphere.
Well, here's some good news. The Patriots have activated running back Shane Vereen off short-term injury reserve today, and he should play against the Panthers. Vereen broke his wrist during the season opener in Buffalo. He can't wait to get back on the field. Question is, will quarterback Aqib Talib be in the Pats lineup? 27-year-old has missed the last 3 games with a hip pointer. He's been practicing on a limited basis for the last couple weeks, and he's officially listed as questionable for tonight. Pats could use his help against Panthers quarterback Cam Newton. The 6'5", 245-pounder is a dual threat. He has a huge arm and can make all the throws, and he's also a big-time threat to run the ball. So how do you defend this guy? Well, Dan Roach asked that very question to former Patriots linebacker Roosevelt Colvin last night on Sports Final.
You got to pick your poison with guys like that. So at the end of the day, it's Bill's over. Hey, you got to do. Everybody has to do their job. The rushers got to keep themselves in their rush lanes, and then if he gets outside the pocket, it's scramble coverage, and you got to retrace your steps as a rusher and get back and hustle into the play.
Meanwhile, former BC Eagles linebacker Luke Kuechly spearheads a stout Panthers defense. Kuechly's the real deal. Just a week ago, he was named the NFL's Defensive Player of the Week. Tonight, he gets his first look at Tom Brady. Now, unlike Newton, Brady is not a threat to run. However, his arm is always a threat. And Kuechly knows his defense better be ready.
He's a smart guy. He's like Peyton in an aspect that he's going to get his team in a situation and a play that's going to be beneficial for them. So, we need to do a good job of planning our defenses and not showing stuff too early so he can get a beat on what we got.
Remember, immediately after the game, tune over to MyTV38 for the fifth quarter postgame show live from here in Charlotte. After tonight's game, the Pats will host the Denver Broncos on Sunday night Gillette Stadium, and Denver could be without old friend Wes Welker, who suffered a concussion on this play during the fourth quarter of the Broncos-Chiefs game last night in Mile High City. Welker now must pass a baseline concussion test, and he can't practice in full until Friday, so we may miss the return of number 83 coming back to Foxborough. Well, the Patriots aren't the only team down here. The Bruins, they take on the Carolina Hurricanes tonight in Raleigh. It's about 3 hours north. So there's a lot going on down here in Carolina. Patriots, big game tonight. Hopefully they come back 8-2. Jack and Lisa, that's the story here. Back to you.
All right, Steve, thank you. CBS Evening News comes next at 6:30.
Yeah, Scott Pelley joins us live from New York City with the preview. Scott.
Jack, Lisa, great to be with you in Boston. We're going to lead the broadcast tonight with two of our correspondents reporting live from the area that was ravaged by these late fall tornadoes. One Weather Service official said it was a once-in-a-decade kind of occurrence, with something on the order of 70 tornadoes estimated to have gone to the midsection of the country yesterday. We'll have stories of the destruction and remarkable stories of survival coming up on the CBS Evening News in just under 10 minutes.
Thank you, Scott. Still to come, a big test for the future of casinos here in Massachusetts, what voters really feel about legalized gambling.
New tonight, Molly's writing is...
She reached back with her eager hand. Yo, big guy!
50 Shades of Hay. Yikes. Now, problems in the bedroom.
Buy your own stupid drink.
Mike's bringing sexy back.
What you doing?
You have to ask a favor.
On new Mike and Molly. Ben.
Be nice to me or I'll kiss you.
Welcome to Rock Bottom.
When was the last time you ate something?
I'm not sure. I threw up some pasta.
Mom after a new Mike and Molly. CBS tonight.
The Philippines has been devastated by Typhoon Haiyan. Thousands have lost their lives and there's been massive property damage.
Victims urgently need your help. Visit cbsboston.com for information or to make a donation.
CBS Boston cares.
Meet Mike and Sarah from New England. Their Prius gives them 50 mpg, which saves them over $6,000 in fuel costs over 5 years versus the average car. Toyota Prius, a very, very smart choice. Ask someone you know who drives one.
Life is full of surprises. Some good, some not so good. Don't get caught surprised. Ask an independent agent about safety insurance enhanced coverage for auto, home, and business. Safety insurance will help you manage life's storms.
Be there for the excitement as the curtain goes up. The sights, the sounds, the dazzling sets, sparkling costumes, the magical music of the orchestra. As Boston Ballet presents Mikko Nissinen's production of The Nutcracker. Traditional, yet reimagined. A holiday treat for the whole family. Opening November 29th at the Boston Opera House. Boston's #1 holiday tradition will sell out. Visit bostonballet.org today. Presented by State Street Corporation.
There are a number of new reasons to look at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts for your Medicare options. The name you know so well now has options you may not know, starting with new Blue Cross Medicare plans as low as $0. These plans include everything from routine annual physicals to hearing and vision exams, and prescription drugs. And we have an affordable individual dental plan, too. Call us for information and to request our free guide to Medicare. And of course, these plans all come with the peace of mind of Blue Cross. So call 1-888-800-8445 for your free copy of your guide to Medicare with no obligation. You've got a number of reasons to go with Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Everything you're looking for. The larger your inventory, the better your selection. At Bach Toyota, we have everything you're looking for. The car you want, the model you want, with the options you want. All at legendary low Bach Toyota prices. Come on down. Choose from hundreds of new and pre-owned vehicles online at BachToyota.com. Bach Toyota right here on the Auto Mile, Route 1 in Norwood. My name is Ernie Bach Jr. Come on down.
This just in, Lunenburg has canceled its last football game of the season over messages of hate targeting a 13-year-old player. Isaac Phillips has a black father and a white mother, and his home was spray-painted with racist graffiti last week featuring the N-word. School officials and state police are now investigating the graffiti on his home. Isaac, by the way, is considering transferring to another school.
In Massachusetts, we're seeing in town after town voters saying no to casinos. And yet, people here still support the idea of expanded gambling. Western New England College is out with a new poll, and it's interesting. It finds that 61% of adults are in favor of casinos, 33% are against. It's almost a 2-to-1 margin. But when those same people were asked, would you want a casino in your town? The numbers are very different. Only 42% say yes, 55% say no. And Milford is the next town to get its say. A vote will be held tomorrow on Foxwoods' proposal to build a $1 billion resort. Foxwoods is promising 3,000 construction jobs and 3,000 full-time positions when the casino opens.
Still to come tonight, stay classy, Boston. Biggest name in big screen news talent is about to get a big honor at a university right here. A one-day tribute when we come back.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts. We're dedicated to helping our members happier, healthier lives.
When you wake up in the morning, one of the first things you need to know is what's the weather going to be like, what you should wear, how you should dress the kids.
It looks like a chilly one today, Todd.
Yeah, Karen, you really have to bundle up the kids at the bus stop this morning. You know, we're always visiting local schools, teaching kids about weather. What is 32 degrees Fahrenheit? So many teachers, so many parents come up to us and say, you're a big part of our morning routine. And that's what I really love about doing this. You guys are so awesome. Look at this.
Start the day together with Todd Gutner. Mornings on WBZ News.
We paid for this much new carpet.
But we got all this.
Get 60% carpet at Empire Today. Schedule at EmpireToday.com or call
800-588-2300 Empire
today.
You have peripheral neuropathy. I described the pain in my legs. The other doctors I went to, they prescribed medications. Gabapentin, Lyrica, Neurontin, Cymbalta. All I wanted was for the pain to stop. What I wanted was New England Health and Wellness. A team of doctors with a new treatment that will give your life back. That's New England Health and Wellness. An end to the pain. It's all I wanted. Call now to speak with one of our specialists. New England Health and Wellness. 978-788-9355.
I sell thousands and thousands of cars.
I have many dealerships.
I'm #1 in the universe.
They only care about themselves.
We interrupt this message from your free eye guy with an important message from Cambridge Honda.
Hi, I'm Paul Costin. I worked at one of those eye guys for 11 years. When I needed to make a change, I chose Cambridge Honda. I didn't want a mega company with many dealerships. I didn't want my loyal customers to be left on anybody's shopping list. Why do I work at Cambridge Honda?
We paid for this much new carpet.
But we got all this.
Get 60% off carpet at Empire Today. Schedule at EmpireToday.com or call
800-588-2300 Empire
today.
Ron Burgundy gets a special honor Friday.
Emerson College is going to rename its School of Communication Ron Burgundy School of Communication for one day, thank God. Anchorman himself, a.k.a. Will Ferrell, will share his wisdom with the students it'll be a short play.
He'll be surrounded by many leather-bound books.
Very funny. That does it for us.